Right.
Mike Timm.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Hello, Felipe.
Man,
We are here.
it's been over 15 years. I
Yeah.
think we've
Check
talked
one,
in
two.
person. Check 1 2, check check.
One,
We're
two.
good.
It has been, and we've been aware of each other just since in the world through all the different social media and whatever else, and have loved to just watch each other grow. And I
Yes.
think that's it. It's like that kind of quintessential sort of moment of like you may not have talked to somebody in so long, but you pick up right where you left off.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And we've known each other for a while, and it's fun to see. It's fun to see you do what you do since we've known each other.
Yeah,
You know,
well, thank you.
that's it.
Yeah. You're like one of my first mentors.
Oh,
Back in the days in 2008, I think.
2008. Yeah, I don't remember the years, to
I
be
think
honest.
so.
It all meshes together. All right, so what was the thing that mentory that actually influenced you, hopefully in a good way?
You were always so easy to talk to. You answer every question I had. At that stage in my career, in the beginning of 2009, it was like 9 and 10, when I had just got to Universal.
Uh-huh.
I was always very curious about filmmaking. I was
Right.
very curious about everything that went behind the scenes in the studio.
Right.
I remember clearly you took me once to like an editing bay. It was the first
Oh,
time I
yeah.
saw editing
That's
bay over
right.
the other building,
That's right. Yeah.
and you had all the attention possible to like answer all the questions I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
cool.
also it was always really easy to talk to you, and I was never, when you're starting, you're kind of afraid of asking
Right.
questions.
Sure.
With you, I was never really
Right.
afraid of asking questions,
Well,
and you were
that's,
all very welcoming.
Because we're all people, and we've all been, depending on what age you're at, you've been every age before that, and some people can recognize that, some people can't. And I guess with you, I saw that you're you're curious, and also, but you're also smart enough as a person of the world, that I knew that you weren't just about working there in that office or doing what we were doing there. For me, before that, I had a whole other life of hitchhiking through Europe and
Yeah.
doing that. We talked a lot about travel, and I was like, just stop working, go travel.
Yeah.
Go do it now before you have kids and whatever
Right.
else. Just get it out of your system. Go adventure. And working, for Robert Redford, Sundance Institute, and working in production, whatever else. And that was all before we met at Universal. So for me, I was excited to see you kind of just, what are you going to do? And just not giving you advice, but just sharing, like,
Yeah.
there are many ways to live your life,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is, these are some of them, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So,
And after that, I was inspired to like take a year. Basically, took a year off and went to Brazil for a year. Came back, worked for UFC, and then worked for the World Surf League, where I
yeah.
traveled the world.
Yeah, that to me is like, that's when I was like, oh my God, he's living the life I've never lived, that I always wanted to. I've wanted to do in my life. I want to do a surfing movie. Right?
Oh, really?
I don't ever want to surf.
Yeah.
Like I grew up on Long Island and New York City, and lived on a houseboat when I was a kid, and so I grew up on the water and all that. But as much as I would like to maybe surf, I don't want to be a big time surfer.
Right.
But I do want to make a surfing movie. Like, and
Shit.
so when you were like doing that, I was like, that looks like fun. I love watching surfers just surf. It's just it's crazy.
We need to make one
We need to make one
because
we need a good script.
I'll tell you what the problem is with surfing movies nowadays.
Right. They don't have vampires in them.
They have vampires, but it's only for surfers.
Right.
There's a million surfing movies,
Right.
and almost all of them are for surfers only. So it's like a bit of a story, a bit of day in life of the surfer, and then
You're
what
right.
I call surf porn,
Yeah.
which is like beautiful waves all the
Right.
time. There's no story
Right.
line. There's not a lot, like
That's
the only surfing movie that everybody loves is like mainstream surf movie.
Right.
It's like North Shore.
right.
It's
Right.
like in the 80s, which was an amazing.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah.
But like how I was just talking to a friend about this, because he's doing a documentary but it's a very surfing kind of driven.
Right.
But I was like, somebody needs to come in and make a story driven surf movie.
Yeah.
There isn't.
Okay. So we need
that I
one.
know of.
We need
We
more
need
of
one.
them. We need one. Everybody out there, we need one. You
Yes.
need a good script.
Yeah.
What about the Keanu Reeves?
Oh yeah. Breakpoint.
Breaking
Breakpoint was another
Breakpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point Break.
Point
Sorry.
Break, yeah,
Point Break.
we were just like cursing us. Point Break, you stupid idiots. Yeah, Point Break. No, well, Point Break.
That is another amazing
That's
one.
just another. And then I was thinking Lost Boys they didn't surf, and that's why I brought up vampires because
Oh right.
yeah, because
Well, there's Blue Crush.
Blue Crush.
Blue
Okay,
Crush is a
yeah.
bit of like a teenager
Yeah, I don't like
driven
Blue
one.
Crush. Yeah, that was what's her name was in that, and she was great. But oh, what's her name?
Yeah. I forgot her
Forgetting.
too.
Yeah, whatever. She.
But that was a
that actress.
technically was.
Yeah.
It technically did well. You know,
Yeah,
but
it did well. And then
but it needs a story driven one like
what it needs is, I think, we need a surfing horror movie.
surfing horror movie.
Yeah. So I do have a surfing horror movie. And I'm just going to say right now, and someone's going to steal it. But if you make it, then I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I'm developing a movie. It basically, it's about vampires. One of the thing is the vampires, the more they feed at night, the more they can withstand the sun.
Oh, okay.
One of the guys is a major surfer.
That's cool.
So he just surfs, and now he got into like the finals or whatever. So he feeds at night. He's a good guy, but he's got to feed at night so then he can surf in this competition. Now, I know it sounds stupid and weird, but
No, that's cool.
There's more to it than that, but he meets somebody else, and it's just all about, life, surfing, yes, eternity, but how long are you going to keep doing this for? And is this the thing that he just is, if he wins, is that it for him? As a
Right.
vampire, does he want to keep living? And has he just sort of he's done it all. He's been alive forever. And then he finally found surfing but he doesn't like feeding, but he has to feed to stay out in the sun. And he doesn't like surfing at night because he likes surfing with other people.
Yeah,
and they
plus
don't
surfing and not
competition.
nobody
Exactly.
surfs. Yeah.
So
And it's hard to watch the waves.
So there you go.
Damn, that's a really good story though.
Yeah. It's called Nightwaves.
Oh.
Or maybe it should call Blood Splash. I don't know. That's stupid.
Shit.
Anyway.
That is really cool because when you say like vampire movies, like, so everyone's like, yeah.
But the thing is, you can actually take anything. We were talking about this earlier, right? Before we started rolling. You could take anything as long as you tell a good story. And what is a good story for film, for TV, for whatever? Is it the story of the characters and what's motivating them, and what kind of trials and tribulations are they just plowing through because they're going after a goal? Mm-hmm. Is it a story? Is it a situation? It's kind of like life, like we were talking about. It's like just being an entrepreneur. It's like you've got a goal. You're gonna hit all these different obstacles. Life, you're gonna hit obstacles growing up, whatever. But you keep going through them, going around them, going over them, going under them, driving right through them, head first, whatever it is. That's life, though. You gotta keep the momentum moving forward, right? Sometimes you take what I call the slingshot approach. You gotta take a couple of steps back, pull back to shoot forward. So that's gonna happen. So you gotta recognize that. But it's just storytelling, filmmaking, entrepreneurship, whatever it is in life. If you're gonna become a doctor, what you have to go through to become a doctor. But then there's a whole nother level of a doctor. You're a doctor that actually cares, that kind of thing.
Right.
But, whatever.
Yeah. So. And that's what's always been cool about you. And just as a premise, so, because I didn't get into it, but you've been a filmmaker forever.
Since I was in 6th grade. 6th grade. Yeah. I was the only one that finished the class project. That was an animation project with my Super 8 camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's when
you shot an.
I shot like a stop motion animation thing with I built the sets and everything, and used all my Star Wars toys and yada yada yada. And nobody else did the film, and I did the film, and I screened it. And my 6th grade teacher, Miss Shortmeyer, I promised her that I would actually thank her when I win my first Oscar. So.
Oh wow!
There you go. So I have got to win an Oscar for Miss Shortmeyer.
You have to. No.
There you go.
No, you have to. You're
so
close.
Anyway,
You're close.
So there you go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So if I was being a filmmaker, you're obviously executive producer,
right?
At Universal.
Well, creative producer, not executive producer.
Yeah, sorry, creative producer.
Yeah.
Creative producer, Universal. But what you're a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
You're a writer. Yeah. You're a director, and that's what you've been doing. That's kind of like, that's why I've always kind of looked up to you, and because I think it's hard for people to know what they like. some people go their whole life trying to figure out what they actually like.
Hmm.
I think it's a privilege to know what you like early
It's
in
yeah.
life, and in the first there's the privilege of doing that, and there's the courage of keep doing that
Hmm.
and not fall into the world's kind of directive
Hmm.
on what to do,
On what to do.
you
Yeah.
know. So that's why I've kind of always admire you,
Mhm.
because you've always known what you like and you have fun with it, and you learn more about it, and you constantly creating and you constantly edit. Like that, to me, that's a privilege to be able to do
Mhm.
that with something that you like, and it's really cool to see that you like keep at it and keep doing cool
Well,
things.
thanks. Yeah, I think it's all. I grew up youngest of five kids. My dad was a musician, saxophone player. My mother was an artist. Like I said, she played the bass, but more of an artist than anything else. And then my brothers and sisters were all musicians and maybe like poets and whatever else. And I guess I'd just grown up in a bohemian sort of lifestyle outside of New York City, like Queens, Nassau County, that whole area. Um, it it wasn't even about the goals we're reaching. It just more about the doing of it and the
Mm-hmm.
process, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I learned to love, and that's what it's really more the pedigree of your lifestyle, the pedigree of your how you're living, not what you're living up to, but how you're living. And it's all about feelings, like for better or for worse, I was never money oriented, like I'm going to do this because whatever. But I love being a filmmaker. I do love the process of writing, and a lot of 50% of writing for me is thinking, and I love just thinking up stuff and writing down the notes, and the writing part's easy, and I just that's the boring part also. It just
Mm.
sort of you're at the computer, but I'll think for 3 weeks, and then in 1 week I'll just knock out the script, because I've been taking notes and think about it so much and whatever else. Um, but I just love the process of being an artist, and that feeling of exploring ideas and feelings, and working through. It's a therapy,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
working through my own stuff. That what am I, my mother passed away a year and a half ago, and yeah, I have a movie that is is a way for me to exercise. My dad passed before that, and to exercise. But once your second parent dies, you're like, oh my god, like
Right.
okay, now I'm a orphan. But you're just, I have a movie that is not like a drama, whatever. No, it's actually a horror movie, and it's just. But that's how I'm going to exercise writing those feelings
Yeah.
afterwards, during, before, during, and after my mother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you do as an artist. Some people write music, some people toot that horn and whatever else, and they do it. But it's just about, you got to enjoy doing what you're doing, not just like achieving goals.
Yeah.
And it's really about like me. I've been, I don't run I don't run the sprint. I run the marathon
Yes.
of
Yes.
life, and that's I knew a long time ago that I was in no rush to be like, I gotta make a feature. I gotta be the feature director when I'm 29 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of those people, they do it and then they burn out and then that's it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to live my life, travel, worked for Redford and Sundance. That was great in the late 20s, early 30s, and then production through the 30s. Got married, started having kids. I wanted to be a father,
Mm-hmm.
not just have kids. I wanted that experience in my life. So you kind of just choose, you pick and choose how you design your life along the way, and I don't ever want to regret anything.
Mm-hmm.
I rather regret doing something than not doing something, I guess.
Yeah.
But having a fulfilled life, it's about people you meet, and how you treat them, and how they treat you, and
Mm-hmm.
and how to raising kids is not easy, and being a good father is not easy, and you want to be the wisest one, and you're
Right.
not a lot of times, and
Yeah.
whatever. But I also tell other fathers that, like, listen, it's okay if you're like my son. He's got a girlfriend, and her father is a great father figure to him also, and then also our friends that we grew up with. One guy's the football coach or whatever. I'm like, other people can help raise your
Yeah. Yeah.
kids along
Yeah.
with you. You just have to guide your kids to know who to listen to and who
Right.
you maybe shouldn't, or whatever it is. So you do kind of look at that a bit.
Yeah.
And that's but I think just in general, life is, that the weaving of all the different threads, and then at the end of the day, you've got this quilt. And what does it look like? It's a tapestry, and that's what it is, a tapestry of your life and, of moments and, people that come and go and, and come back, whatever it is. But,
and I think the key to what I'm finding out now is like, I think you said something there about like the doing, I think the key for fulfilling life is love the doing.
I love the doing. Yeah.
Love the doing, because
on any level.
On any level.
No, it's not like I can only do it like this. No. Do it on every
whatever, however you're fulfilled
Yeah.
doing, is just do that.
Just do that.
Like
right?
that's what I keep reminding myself, because most of my life I was driven by goals.
Yeah.
I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that, and all of a sudden I stopped. I was like, what do I actually like doing? Like, do I do these things just because I've learned to be good at this?
Yeah.
Or do I do it because I like? Because I stopped and I was like, I don't really like doing these.
Right.
It's like I've just been trained really well to do
Right.
this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what do I like doing?
Right. Yeah.
I went through that.
It,
I was like, shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
If
you love doing something, I think Martha Graham, the dancer, said, if you love doing something, it doesn't matter if you're good at it or not.
Right.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Because that's what makes you feel good.
Yeah. And at some point you're going to get good because you're so curious.
You may not make a lot of money or make a career out of it, but if you love doing it, do it.
Do it. Yeah. So that was a big thing for me, where I'm like, well, I just got to love the doing, and then figured out a way to make money about it somehow.
Right.
And if it doesn't,
that helps.
Yeah.
Make a business out of it and whatever else.
Yeah. Just so I could do more of that,
Right.
So that's a big thing. I think that's important, and you obviously had a very lucrative business. It's just very demanding business as well,
right?
Because everybody's in it.
Yeah.
But it's rare to find somebody like you, where you're like a filmmaker because you love it. There's a lot of filmmakers because they want to get the recognition.
People want to be famous.
Yes.
They want to be that person. They want to be looked upon. They want to, they want to make the big, huge amounts of money. They want to sell their script for yada, yada. They want to have, but it's just like, all right, like, well, why don't you make it on the, when I talk to some filmmakers, I'm just like, well, you want to make it for $5 million, but can you make it for $100,000? Oh no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, well, you could actually do it for $100,000, but you're not going to, because it's a lot of work and yada, yada, yada. And you want the big paycheck later.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Years later, they still haven't made their movie. Meanwhile, they could have made their $100,000 movie and moved on.
And learned a lot from it.
Learned a lot from it. And then they make another movie that's maybe throw on another zero. They make a $1 million movie. And then they do well in that. And then they make the $10 million movie.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what people, I think, a lot of independent filmmakers, they don't see it that way. They just see, oh, no, I could do this. There are a lot of people that have been doing micro-budget movies. In the horror world, hey, still, if you make a horror movie for $50,000 and you can figure out how to do it, through your resources and all that, you can make a lucrative business. I've got a friend who that's all he does. He stopped making $3 million movies and he just started making $50,000 to maybe even $40,000 to like $70,000 horror movies. And he makes a killing. Really? Because people distribute them. He makes money every quarter and just knocks these out, and he produces them. He doesn't direct them. He just produces them for
I always had that question where I'm like, so now I'm starting to be way more into trying to, I wouldn't say create films because I just don't know how to, but I love the art of capturing images and putting it together.
Yeah.
Throughout.
Telling a story.
Yeah.
Through pictures.
Visually. I love it. It's just, yesterday I was just shooting a concert for my client Live Nation.
Right.
And a band called Midnight Generation. It's a fairly new band, and it's from Mexico.
Wow. Okay.
But imagine like a death punk Mexican band.
Really? Where were they playing? What was
they
it?
They were playing Echoplex.
Echoplex.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was just there. I was just tired yesterday. So I was going on my way there. I didn't know about them. I never heard of them.
Yeah.
It's just another shoot for me.
Yeah.
And I was going, and they were doing sound check. I was like, well, these guys are cool.
Yeah, these guys are good.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
this is like Rufus De La Soul
Right.
meets, you know?
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was just there and they're like, oh, come backstage and hang out.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
I was there like 2 hours before it started. And I was just kind of, chatting with them and kind of like getting to know them. And I had camera with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm just capturing these moments. I love doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Capturing
When
like
you're doing it, you're a documentarian.
yeah.
Yeah, at least for that moment you are.
Yeah,
Right?
I love capturing. What I love capturing is people's thought.
Right now, you're a documentarian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I love documentary
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of stuff. Like
Yeah.
in the moment, capturing what people are thinking through the camera,
Right.
without them saying something.
What am I thinking?
Zoom in. But I was just so anyway. So I was there, kind of just shooting these things, and I'm like, man, I just love putting these things together and telling stories
Right.
about it with like in the moment, but I've always been curious, like there's got to be a way to make good looking films for cheap.
There are, I mean, really, I mean, you can. I've been wanting to make a feature film on iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
You do need, there are rigs, not just like grab your iPhone and go and shoot. It's more getting the rigs and whatever, but you can get a good rig for like $6,000. You can get a nice little setup, and that's your camera, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people have done, Steven Soderbergh, all these different people have shot with it, but they have all the money for post-production to sweeten it out. So they still spend, whatever, there's that, whatever.
Because the camera is not really the expensive part.
Right,
It's really...
or what's his name just shot, on the iPhones, 28 years later.
Yeah.
Right. But look at what he was using and look at the post-production and, so, but you can shoot smaller budget and still have that scope and scale, if you do it right.
What's the most expensive part of the whole movie making process? Post?
It should be. People sometimes don't even spend enough on post-production, and then that's why the movie just isn't good.
Right.
Because it doesn't sound good, and people forget that cinema is sight and sound. Sound is half
huge.
the battle.
Yeah.
I think the sight, the picture is the intellectual part, and the sound is the emotional part of the experience.
Yes, I agree.
And it's all subliminal, and not subliminal, but just subconscious and whatever. The most expensive part, I think, it depends. I guess it's such a hard thing because when you're talking at a studio level, the most expensive part is the cast, right? But if you're an independent filmmaker and you don't have known actors, you're going to spend all your money probably in production, with crew, and like paying locations and feeding them and their rates and everything else, So production is usually the, the most expensive part. But
I was wondering, like, why. I understand, like, big studio films cost a lot, but why most films cost about $3 million?
About what?
Why do most films really cost about $1 million to $3 million?
$1 million to $3 million?
Yeah.
You mean for independent films?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, the thing is this: $1 to $3 million movies are done because you have the above the line, below the line, right? So if you say you have a $1.5 million movie, if someone said, "Here's the script, I've got $1.5 million, Mike, go produce it," my first initial reaction, depending on the kind of movie, would be is, I'm going to spend $500,000 of that 1.5 on cast.
I see.
I may actually spend $400 of that on one name, and then $100 for a second smaller name, because now the fact is, to me, in the way the independent film world works, cast equals budget. When someone's like, "Well, what's your budget?" Well, or they're like, "My budget is blah blah." I'm like, "I know that's your budget." But once you have your cast, you know what your budget is, right? So then now if I had the 1.5, spend $500,000 on a name actor that can cover a $1 million movie. Now the fact is that then from there, you're a producer, or two producers, you make whatever, give your above the line, give your as far as your salary out of that $1 million, that's still above the line. Yada. So once you're below the line, what are you actually making the movie on screen for? How much are you spending out of that other money? Are you going to spend $800,000 because $200,000 goes to the producers, right? Director, writer, whatever that is. And then you have $800,000. So now you're making an $800,000 movie. Right. So you got to.
There's the camera's crew.
You got a camera crew, and then do you have enough? And that includes post production. So now, so you're like, okay, so now post production, depending on what kind of movie it is, are you now production? Are you going to give $350,000 to post? Now you got $450,000 to actually production. Pre-production and production, kind of not the same thing. You're going to spend some money in pre-production setting things up, but a lot of the stuff that you're spending money on, and wardrobe, locations, whatever, that's all going on the screen anyway, right? So that's money on the screen. But so you got to really figure it all out. But the fact is that you do need to market your film, and you can't get your money back unless you know you can market the movie and sell it, right? So if you have you better have that actor that could cover a $1.5 million movie, and you'd be surprised when someone's like, I've got blah, 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 and it's a $4 million movie. It's like, yeah, well, guess what? They're only worth $1 million.
Right.
So you're only going to get $1 million from a buyer for your $4 million movie, So that's why people are like, wait, what? No, that can't, like, no, that's how it goes. And so they don't do their homework beforehand. So that's what I'm saying. If you got that $1 million actor and that's all you have, then just make the movie for $800,000.
I see.
Because
it doesn't matter how
it's
good
about
the
price
movie.
Point.
Yeah,
right. It's about price point, and can you sell it? Can the distributor distribute the movie, and can they make money on it also? That's what they're looking at. So if you make the movie for the right price point with the right name cast, then you're good. And you've got to spend a chunk of that on the cast and marketing. And the people are like, what's marketing money? Well, marketing money also helps the distributor. You can market it yourself, you can do whatever, but you can't just give it to a distributor, because then they'll make their money and then you won't make any money. That's what everyone's just like, I got fucked by the distributor. Well, you just gave them your film and you did nothing about it.
Right. They're not going to do the whole,
they're trying to survive too. So,
right.
But there are ways to make a movie, for the right price point, knowing that you're going to get your money back right off the bat. Plus some.
If you become successful.
And then these days there's so many ways of just between tax incentives, branding opportunities, things like that. You can build your financials to the point where nothing is ever like a sure thing for investors, but you can give your investors a better bet on a movie if you have all your ducks in a row and show, hey, look, here's our $1.5 million movie. We spent this much money on the actor. He's worth or she's worth this amount in the market. This is the kind of, these are the buyers that buy these kind of movies. These are the ones that they bought a year or two ago. Here's where we're shooting. We're shooting in Kentucky and Louisville, and we got this tax incentive from Kentucky, and it's not just a tax credit. It's like maybe, I don't know if it's Kentucky, but one of the the states that kind of just gives you the money, and it's not a tax thing, right? Yeah. And then we have another $150,000 because we have brand integration from whatever, Fender guitars or somebody.
Right.
And then and that's money that you don't have to pay back. So already you're knocking it down so that you only really need, X amount of dollars for equity on this $1.5 million. It's like, so, the investors, they're like, oh, my $700,000 investment really is worth 1.5, or whatever, however you build it up.
Yeah. That's cool.
You know.
So how long does it usually take?
And that's a sloppy way of actually explaining it. But
no, that was clear to me. And I know nothing.
Yeah. We all know nothing. But we just kind of keep doing it.
How long does it usually take you to write a full script?
I'll take notes when I'm really focused.
I guess what's your process?
Writing the script, my process is taking notes, and I have a new process now, which has really been working. I take notes, I write it, I bang out an outline, and then I use that outline. I drop that into final draft, and then I build out the outline into a screenplay. And my last one, Ventura Holiday, that my manager just started sending out in the beginning of the summer. So now I'm waiting to get feedback from different producers and whatever that are looking at it. I pitched Big Indie in New York. They read a script of mine. This is a long-winded answer, I know. They read a script of mine. The director of development loved it, but the type of script wasn't good for what they were doing. But she's like, I want to read more of Mike Timm stuff. So we just sent an email of just stuff that I've written and stuff that I'm working on. She loved one of the things I was working on. She was like, well, I want to read an outline. I was like, okay. So we had a first meeting. I just talked all about it. And then I did the outline. And then I did the script. So I can bang out a first draft within like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and sometimes that's too long, so that's with a lot of just in between. But if I could also put this last one I did in 2 weeks, and the third draft was good enough to send out because I did all my homework up front. But I basically write quicker now after having written a lot of scripts, a lot of bad ones over the years earlier on, and I just did it just to do it. I just was like, I'm going to do this. I know it's not going to be good, but I'm just going to bang it out. But I'll write a first draft in 3 weeks. Yeah. It's really what my manager asked. He's like, how do you write so quickly? And I said, because I know what not to write.
Mm-hmm. And you can only do that by writing a bunch of shit beforehand. Just putting
all my notes and everything. So then when I'm sitting at the keyboards and I'm like writing pages, right, I'm just knocking out the script because I've got all my notes and things like that. And then I kind of organize them and then I hit it. Yeah. And then I'll sit at a coffee shop and sometimes I write at home, but I like sitting in other places where there's activity and
I'm saying when I'm like thinking
like
I got it.
It's like being in the middle of New York City. I like the chaos and I feel the calmest.
Right.
When I'm just kind of walking through the streets and there's all these people and I just feel at home and kind of the same thing.
I
feel energized.
Yeah, I think about that. I was thinking about that now. I stopped at Starbucks and it was full of people, and I'm in the OC right now. It's just like empty most of the places. Yeah. And it was just full of people at Starbucks, and I'm like, fuck, I missed this. Yeah. It's like, great, there's a bunch of people. Energy. Yes, I love that stuff.
Yeah, everybody's got a different story.
Yeah.
What are they? What are those stories?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, I love people. Yeah. I like crowded places. Not too crowded, but I like crowded places.
Yeah. Here's a great Starbucks story. So when I first got here, a friend of mine from the East Coast, he flew out to see California, visit me, yada yada. But we're on the Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard, the Starbucks out there, like Sunset Strip, and standing in line. And this homeless guy, there's homeless back then too, just like seal. And it was like, oh yeah, we're in line, like, oh yeah, seal. And the guy, and it was like, oh yeah, seal is the music, I forget the name of the song, but Seal is playing on the overhead. He's like, no, Seal. I'm like, what, man? I know Seal's playing. Seal is standing right in front of us in line. He turns around and looks at us and smiles, and it's like Seal. So not only is he playing on the overhead, but he's standing right in front of us, getting coffee at Starbucks, and he smiled. It was just like, what a crazy, stupid moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Damn, he seems like a cool dude too.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
There you go. Yeah, what is he doing now? So
yeah, still probably making songs.
Yeah.
I saw a video of like Spike Lee, the way his process of creating. First of all, like scripts are what, like 600 pages?
I just saw him last week at the Academy Museum. I was there for.
Oh really?
He was highest to lowest. He was premiering that with Denzel, and
yes,
and I was there. I was there to see Children of Men, and then they were premiering that. So I was kind of standing with. I was like, oh look.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm a big fan of Spike Lee. He's cool.
So am I.
He seemed like that guy where he did things where it was like with the budget that he had to do.
Yeah.
In an innovative way.
He knows how to deliver.
Yeah. First, like scripts are how many pages?
Scripts are anywhere these days between like 85 pages for feature to, I wouldn't go over 120 pages.
Oh, really?
But it also depends. There's a lot of, the bigger movies, because it's a minute a page. That's the rule, right? So if you have a 90-page script, it's 90-minute movie.
I see.
That's kind of the rule, right? So, but you've got a lot of movies these days, more so from like the auteurs that are given all the money. Every movie is like 3 hours long.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like, like we don't need 3-hour movies. Some of them warranted totally,
right?
But a lot of them they don't need to be 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever else. You know, they should. So I try and keep my scripts anywhere between 95 to like 115 pages. My sweet spot is 107 pages.
107.
I like that. Yeah, 107. Cool. I like that number.
Dang, that's wild. Writing a script.
Yeah,
I want to do it one day. Just
you should.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It does. It seems very hard.
It can be easy, but it's not easy to write a good one.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's so hard. It's so hard.
But you'll get there by doing it, though.
Just doing it wrong.
That's the thing.
For the wrong time.
Just doing it. A long time. Whatever else.
Yeah. And so I was watching this video of Spike Lee, and he was talking about his process, how he starts with like card notes.
Index cards. Yeah.
Where he writes a scene, like this is a scene, and he puts it
I've done that before,
That's cool. Like, and then he
just write down ideas, and then you have all these index cards.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's like, he knows that he needs like 100 or something like that, and in between he starts writing, and then once he has the main scenes, which is the main index cards, set, and then he goes back and starts writing in between.
Right.
That's a cool process.
Yeah, it's a cool process. I did that. That's like an 80s to 90s process that started. And it's great that he still does that. I stopped doing index cards. I do more of it in my notebook, so it's all contained but I've done that. It is cool because you can move stuff around.
Yeah.
You like take the scene and move it over here. And you just do it visually. It's and it's great because it's also, it's tangible, right? You can sort of just take stuff and move it around. You look at it. And whatever else. And it's a great... and you got to find the process that works for you.
It has to be your process.
Yeah, it has to be your process, and you have to explore and find your process. Right? You have to like sharpen your own process.
Yeah. An interview with Dave Chappelle, he said, "I feel like half of my career was imitating people.
Yeah.
And the other half is when I found myself."
Yeah.
And you look at Dave Chappelle, where he was pretty innovative. Early on, you're like, Killing Me Softly, that stand-up Dave was like. That was a super innovative. Like I had never seen somebody like that. And he's talking about how when he watches back then, he's like, I could see everything I copied from other people.
Right.
It's wild.
Well, I mean,
it's like exercising.
There's a lot of famous directors that have taken from lots of other famous directors. Chris McQuarrie said we were at the Sundance Labs in I think 1998. Or something, or 97, one of those years, 96. No, it was 96. And he said, he's like, good writers write. Great writers steal from other great writers. I go, okay, I guess that's,
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's just, art. Art is just something that you kind of see something. Yeah. It stores in your head, and you go and visit at some point, and you think it's a creative idea, but you kind of saw it somewhere.
Well, influence. You're influenced by stuff, and it's okay to be influenced by other art, I mean, songs will make you want to write a script, I've had songs that influenced me to write a certain script. And it had nothing to do with the story of the movie or whatever, but just the feeling of it.
The feeling.
Feeling of it, and there are things that, you want to, as an artist, you want to pay tribute to or whatever. And then there's just a blatant like, oh, I'm going to steal that shot. It's just like, that's such a cool shot. I'm just going to use it, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I love shots. Like I always look up like types of shots. I'm obsessed with like how people shoot.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. So now I do have like my movie. It's on Tubi, A Girl, a Guy, a Space Helmet.
Yeah, I was in
Tubi. You were? You were in it?
I was in it.
Oh, that's right. You were in it. That's right.
That's right. I was one of the scientists in the classroom.
One of the scientists. I forgot about that. That's great. So what I was going to say is I took from Beat Street, there's the scene where they have the break battle down the subway, and I deliberately took that scene and I shot it almost just in the beginning of it, shot for shot, to mimic that, and
Yeah.
I just and put it in Space Helmet because I was like, at that point in the movie, I'm like, if someone's gonna watch this movie, and I made the movie for $10,000, so you can, and that was before iPhones. Made the movie for $10,000 with Anthony Backman, who's a lead, and he's a great lead. He's a great producing partner on it. But just you can make a movie. I said if they're going to get to this point, I got to give them something just outlandish. And I put in that breakdancing scene, and just it's still the favorite thing I've ever done. One of the favorite things I've.
I was gonna ask, what was
fun.
your favorite thing that you've done so far?
I mean, my favorite moments of making anything was actually being in the ocean. I directed a pilot called The Beach Thing, and the Wright brothers wrote and produced, and they hired me to direct it. And we had to shoot a mermaid with a guy on a surfboard, and a mermaid, the actress has a mermaid, and we were down at Manhattan Beach, and we were in the ocean, with the cameras and the crew, and we had the lifeguard with us, and in the ocean was and it was the most fun moment ever because we're in there in the water enough that every time a wave would come, it was like the Peanuts gang. We all just went got washed away, and I just couldn't stop laughing because because I was like, this is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm making a movie, and this is like, getting paid for it is one thing, but it was just like, but getting a chance to do it is a whole nother blessing. It's like, so that's definitely one of my favorite moments. And then the Valley of Heart's Delight, which is on YouTube now.
Did you write that one?
I co-wrote it. So the Ryan Ray, who funded it, executive producer, it was a moment about him breaking when he was 17 years old. He's an entrepreneur in the tech industry, whatever, but he broke down in the New Mexican desert and on his way to California to start an internet company selling cars. And this is, back in 1997, so right before the internet boom and whatever. So he had the right idea, but he broke down, and then this Native American guy came to stop to help him, and he gave him all the money he had to go get the part, and didn't come back for hours. So he just kind of sat there saying, did I just get ripped off? Like, what am I going to do? What am I doing? Right. Just contemplating like his whole life within a couple hours. Well, I said, all right, let's do that. But I'm going to do it. And I built out the script where it's overnight, and there's just more story to it and flashbacks and other people. Yeah, and it's a sweet film, and there's a Native American mechanic in it, and there's definitely a mysterious part of it and spirituality part of it, and it's an excellent 13-minute little short film, and it played the festival circuit over the last year or so.
Yeah, I saw you put that out. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely send it to you. It's
now it's on YouTube.
The Valley of Heart's Delight. Yeah, it should be full on YouTube. Yeah, all my films and my last short films, The Eyes is on YouTube. Mr. Roberts is on YouTube, so you can find all that stuff.
Yeah,
and I just put it up after a while. Not during the festival circuit, but once I'm done. Right now it's in the Echelon International Film Festival, and the virtual part of it, because they only have one day of screening some movies, the award winners and all that. But
is the real story that when he was sitting there in the desert, kind of contemplating, is like all the things that he started going through his head?
Yeah, just like what am I doing in my life? I'm 17 years old. Like, what did I do?
Oh, he was 17.
He was 17. Yeah, what am I doing?
Shit.
But he had nothing to lose.
Oh, smart guy.
Yeah. But he didn't go to college because he didn't get the grades and everything else. So I built that into the script and whatever else. And it really talks a lot about just people that don't have all the options, but they kind of go for it,
Yeah.
They don't go to college. They don't do whatever. They've got to figure it out, know. And the same thing with independent filmmakers. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You don't have the money. All right. What research do you have? Then make a feature film on $10,000.
Right.
Then do it. Some people are like, well, I don't want to do it. And then you don't really want to make movies. There's a difference between being a writer and being a director. And I guess what it is when people say, well, I want to be a director. Do you want to be a director or do you want to direct?
Right.
They're two very different things.
Yeah.
Most people just want to be directors.
Right.
because they don't want to direct.
They don't want to be in it and do it.
They don't want to do the action and all the
Yeah.
hard work that gets it.
Yeah.
People want to be writers, but they don't want to write.
Yeah.
You know.
That's most people on most things.
Yeah.
That bring you kind of a lot of money or recognition. They
Yeah.
want to be the thing. They don't want to do the thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I just work with a guy that he puts his name on everything. He's
Mhm.
big executive producer,
Yeah.
but everybody knows
Yeah.
he just puts his name there.
Right.
But doing the thing,
Right.
you know, it's a different level.
It's a different level.
It's a different level of
Yeah.
things, like of actually doing it. You know, that's a difference between people that love it
Mhm.
and people just want
Right.
it.
And the more you do it, get your repetitions in, right?
Yeah.
Get your repetitions in. The more you do it, the more you, and it's not just learning the job as a producer, writer, director, as a filmmaker, or doing anything. The more you do it, it's the instincts that you sharpen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the instincts that kind of start to grow within you. You know, that you're feeding and watering, and having those instincts. So, like as a writer now, you know, I write quickly. I can write a first draft within 3 weeks because like I said, I know what not to write. I have the instincts to know. I don't waste my time writing this scene because I know it's never going to really play the way it could be a great scene, but if it doesn't fit in the story I'm writing, then don't bother writing it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
producing, you have instincts to know how to make it for a certain price.
Mhm.
Yes, I want $1.5 million, but I can make the movie for 150,000.
Right.
You know, is that smarter? Well, depending on who the buyers are, and I have this and the genre or whatever it is, yeah, maybe it is. It's not going to be easy, but it's not easy making $1.5 million. It's actually probably easier to make 150,000, even though it's like they both have their even like a $15 million movie. Well, it's not enough money because you really want to make a $25 million movie. You're constantly chasing,
Right.
so you just have to like do it. You want to be great at tennis. You want to be great at surfing.
Yeah.
You gotta work at it.
It's like a muscle.
It's a muscle.
Definitely a muscle. Or like
Yeah.
our brains
Yeah.
muscle. You know, if
Yeah.
you just gotta keep doing. All of a sudden you start getting
Mhm.
stronger in that part of the brain,
Yeah.
and you get used to that
Right.
thinking, that process on,
Right.
on the instincts, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden instead of thinking about too much about the little detail, you know exactly what that
Yeah.
is, and
Right.
you just go through it
Yeah.
faster.
That's it.
It's literally like working out.
Yeah. And
'Cause now
everybody
5
has
5 kilos is not the same as
Right.
it used to be.
right. And now it's just now it's a little bit it's too light.
Now
You
it's
know,
too
that kind
light.
of-
Yeah,
exactly.
and you already kind of
Right.
pass it. So
And don't you think most people, I would say everybody, but maybe there are some people that don't because of whatever, everyone's got it in them to actually achieve greatness in so many different things,
mhm.
and I think people, they are afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fail,
Mhm.
but you've got to, you've really just got to allow yourself to fail, get over it, and move on. But people have something of value, and that's when I do talk with people or whatever, actors or whatever. I do try and find what's their strength,
Mhm.
as a person also,
Right.
and that's going to come out of them as an actor,
Mhm.
and that's so whenever I cast, I don't really audition them like read the lines, like anybody can read lines. Can they get the character? What kind of character are they going to be?
Right.
I want them on screen. I want them emotionally on screen. So what is it going to take? What are they going to actually allow to be on screen? And that's how I cast. So like,
Right.
okay, I kind of know their range. I know I can get out of them.
Mhm.
I know what they want to give,
Right.
when I meet them, and I'm like, okay, that's great for this role. Like, okay, good. Boom, done. But in general, people need to understand that, you can go for it, and it doesn't
Yeah.
take, you can have your, listen, everyone asks me, how do you get everything done with a full-time gig, 3 kids, whatever, and this and that? I'm like, because I don't think about it. I just do it,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to stop. Like, if I want to make a short film, I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
If I want to write a script, I want to get the script written. I don't know if it's going to sell or not, or if it's going to go anywhere, or if it's going to be any good. But I'm going to do it because I write it and I make the time.
Right.
I get up and I write for an hour from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., then help the kids or whatever when they were younger, whatever, lunches or whatever else, and then I go to
Mhm.
work.
Yeah.
But you've got to be willing.
You just gotta make that time.
You got to show up. You
Yeah.
got to make the time.
You
Figure
gotta
out
make the
what
time.
is it for you. But you can do it. you know.
Yeah. I would say like it's people are just afraid of failing, and that includes me for a long time because you lack confidence. And
Yeah.
once you like something, you eventually gonna get confident about that thing because
Yeah.
you always
Yeah.
doing it because you're obsessed about it.
Right.
You know, you want to learn about
Right.
it more, you
Right.
want to do it more, you make time to
Right.
do it more, and consequently, you're gonna start building your confidence on that thing.
Right.
And if it fails or not, you don't give a shit at the
Right.
point that you are so confident about it
Yeah.
because you just like doing it.
Yeah, because once the confidence is going to change into it's going to be a pleasure to do it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And a lot of people don't want to waste their time, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not going to bother with that because it's just not a good thing, and I'm going to waste my time. People don't like to waste their time, but the fact is that you'll learn as time goes. Once you start doing things more, you're never wasting your time.
No, if you
Never.
like
you're
doing it,
that's
that's
if you like doing it, it's not a waste of time
Yeah.
ever. This is your time. Waking up, what are you going to do with your day? Go to work, whatever else. Like but this is your life.
Mhm.
You got to fill it up somehow. And
Yeah.
that's how I'm just blessed to wake up. When Spiro and I, when we were talking before we met, I was like, just waking up is a success.
Yes, 100%.
Anything after that is gravy.
Yeah.
Like I'm serious. It's like not to be Pollyanna about it, but
No,
but it's just more,
Yeah.
it's just waking up really is a success. Like I don't give a shit what happens today. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's like whatever. Like I don't maybe whatever I did in my past life, I don't know, but it just I'm on vacation.
Yes.
I feel like, like
That's
I did something in the past life that I worked hard or I battled something or whatever it is. I'm just kind of, my sister asked, she's like, how do you get so easily through life just in general? I'm like, I don't know. Kind of just feel like I'm on vacation. It's like I don't worry about stuff. I try not to.
I'm very similar that way too.
Yeah, so you can't let things.
How old are your kids?
My
now?
kids are 20, 17, and 15.
Oh,
Almost 18. So
They're
20,
grown.
almost 18, and then 15.
Has any of them gone into filmmaking at all? Or
No, my daughter, who's about to turn 18, she is going to go into hair and makeup. So yes,
Mhm. Yeah.
whether it's film, TV, photo shoots, she's a dancer. So she even said, she's like, even if I'm hair and makeup for a dance troupe that travels around the world and I'm specifically touring with them,
she'll love it.
I'll do that. I'm like, cool. Yeah. She also loves fashion. But she's 17. She graduated from high school. She doesn't want to go to traditional college or anything. She's super smart, engineer smart, but just she just wants to figure it out.
Yeah,
And
especially that age, is still
exactly.
a lot to learn.
Yeah. And then my other two, my son, the oldest, he's an entrepreneur.
Wow.
He's going to business school and he's really smart with his money and he's a hard worker and whatever else. And so he knows what he's doing. I'm super proud of him and happy with what he's finding, who he is, and
Early on,
whatever
yeah.
else. Yeah. And there's so much more to explore. And then my youngest is 10th grade. So she's, whether she'll be a lawyer or in the Air Force, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see.
She's still going through
Yeah,
it.
she's still, depending on, does she want to stay on the volleyball team? Does she go to the tennis team?
Right.
Whatever. I don't know. 10th grade,
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2, 4 years old and 1.5.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're chasing pants.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Wow.
It's
and
cool.
Boy, 2 boys or boy, girl?
Boy, girl.
Boy, girl.
Boy, girl.
Okay.
Boy, oldest 4, and girl 1.5.
So yeah, once he turns 5, that's he's gonna have his friends.
Yeah, he now
Yeah,
started preschool, so he has a couple.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
I say the friends that he chose, not the friends of my friends'
Yeah.
kids. You know.
The friends he chooses, who he gravitates towards.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting, right?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool to see. It's crazy. I see him like as a grown person sometimes. I'm like, he talks to me like, Dad, I did this and that. What do you think? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what?
You know?
Oh God,
It's a wild ride.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'm like, I don't know.
It is crazy, but
Yeah.
no, having kids is. Are you gonna go for third?
I think we're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Going for a third is nuts. Even my mother, who had 5 kids, was like, 30 kids? What are you, crazy?
Yeah,
I'm like, Mom, you had 5.
I know.
You know?
Just 3, I think is just. I think it was just the girl. I think if it was like 2 boys or 2 girls,
Yeah.
maybe I would have tried for girl
Right.
or a girl or a boy.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But yeah, 2
Okay.
is good.
Famous.
Like,
last,
we have
famous
a crew.
last words.
Yeah,
But no, you're good with 2.
yeah. It just seems like our crew
Yeah,
is
yeah.
complete.
It works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, you don't have to. Once you have a third kid, you got to buy the bigger car,
Yes.
and it does affect the bigger car.
Yeah, traveling is like now 5.
Yeah.
It's like
Plane tickets. All
plane
that. I just
tickets.
bought plane tickets for all of us to go to my nephew's wedding in Texas. It's like, oh yeah, all 5 of us. Okay, good. Then you got to house everybody. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any small trip
Yeah,
is like
that's it.
$8,000.
Yeah,
9 grand.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just gotta do it.
It's wild. That's why I think two is good. Two
Yeah.
is good.
So it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. They're fun. It's a fun age. It's a really fun age right now. Like 3 to 4. It's been so fun. Then she's 1.5. She's starting to get it.
Right.
She's like,
And it's a good age that she isn't so much younger, but younger enough that there's separation of
right.
kind of generation. Like when he's a senior in high school, she'll be a freshman or in 8th grade.
She'll probably be like from 8th to 9th. Yeah.
So 8th to 9th. So she won't be in high school when he's in high school.
Yeah.
It's actually better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that is better.
Especially as a big brother,
As a big brother, separating the two, whatever else.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. I actually did a surf movie once.
Really?
I'll send it to you. It's called Brazil of Surfing.
I want to see it. Yeah.
So, but I was really lucky because I partnered with this shooter editor from Brazil. His name is Loic. And he's just so creative.
Really?
He made the whole thing look exceptionally
awesome.
great. Like visually amazing.
Really?
And we got like this Brazilian rapper to narrate the whole thing.
Really? That's awesome.
So it's basically about the domination of Brazil in competitive surfing between like 2015 and 2023.
Right.
And Brazil kind of took over,
Did you figure out why? Like, why is it that Brazil is so amazing, not killing it right now, you might say, just unsurfing?
Yeah, so we went a little deeper, deep on it. We spent like 11 grand on it.
Yeah.
And we're not too deep on it. I wish we would have, because the whole story was supposed to be about one of the pioneers retiring.
Okay.
But as we went into the story, we're like, whoa, this is like, we should talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
Yeah, we should talk about like how Brazil dominated, the surfing world. And basically it's just most Brazilians that surf, they don't have the privilege of like Americans and Australians that have always dominated surfing, of like not worrying about anything else. Most kids, they're Americans or Australians, they grew up in a well-set family, so they never had to worry about putting food on their table.
Right.
They just had to worry about stay at the beach all day, surf.
Mm-hmm.
Where Brazilians is like by 13, 14, it's like if you're not making money, you gotta come work with the family.
Right.
So it was that sense of urgency for most Brazilians from early on to start surfing well enough to earn money.
Wow.
So a lot of these kids at 13, 14, they started getting sponsorships that were 10 times the salary of their parents.
Wow.
So now they're the breadwinner.
They're like the TikTok influencers of Brazil.
Yeah.
But surfers.
But like real surfers.
Right.
Which there is a documentary to be done about that.
Yeah.
Where most of these kids became breadwinners from surfing at 12.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And so there was one guy whose name Adriano that started, and he almost made it into the world champion. He was never world champion. And it was just like all of a sudden this Gabriel Medina came along.
Right.
And at 13, he was like, who's this phenomenon? And before that, nobody really knew about it. All of a sudden, he just started winning competitions.
Yeah.
And then made it into the World Surf League championship, and then like beat everybody.
Wow.
And then in 2015, he was the first Brazilian world champion in the world.
Wow.
Well, 2014. And after that, I don't know what happened. I think he inspired all these kids. It was like, it's possible. Because before it was Kelly Slater and those guys that dominated. Yeah. And after that, like, only Brazilians won until, I don't know, like, I guess for the next 8 years, 6 was Brazilian and 2 was like a John, the Hawaiian guy.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really cool. It's like a cool 30-minute film.
Right.
Documentary style. But like super beach vibes, surfing, Brazilian music,
That's
the
awesome.
Brazilian narrator. It's all in Portuguese with
So
subtitles.
now what did you do with it once you produced it?
So we produced it for the World Surf League, and
Mhm.
they put it out in
Oh,
there.
they paid for it. And
They
you
paid for
produced
it.
Okay,
Yeah. I used to work there, so I was like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah. Oh, so that's okay.
give
So
me a
that makes
budget.
sense, yeah.
I'll create this
I'll
movie.
create this. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted
Yeah.
to create this movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, like we don't have money, and Corona kind of
Right.
financed it.
Right.
And then for Live Nation, basically.
Right.
Well, not Live Nation, World Surf League. And yeah, so they put it out. It's one of the best performing videos on their platform.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really liked the whole experience. You know, it's like I found I found a writer.
Right.
I found an editor.
Right.
We went and interviewed a bunch of surfers.
Right.
I shot a bunch of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, just picking images, shots, music, like locations.
Yeah.
You know how the stories connect. It was
Yeah.
just such a cool experience.
Yeah.
One of the coolest.
You're a painter. You're painting a painting.
Yeah.
You know, using different colors am I going to use? What brush am I going to use?
Yeah.
Whatever it might be. Am I going to put something? Am I going to put this in there? Little rocks and dirt in
Yeah.
there. Paint over it, like whatever it is. It's like
Yeah.
it's great.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It came out
That's
really good. I'm super proud of that one. So I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
You know.
That sounds awesome. Well, you're a filmmaker.
Well, yeah, I want to get
go.
there.
You made a film.
Yeah.
You're a filmmaker.
So my goal is to create like films like that where I'm like
Right.
telling simple stories through lenses, and then
Right.
maybe I'll level up at some point where
Right.
I'll do some
Right.
complex stuff. But
Right.
just like how can I capture sentiment,
Mhm.
put it together into a storyline?
Well, you got to figure out what worlds do you want to throw yourself into.
Mm.
You know, where are your interests? You know, what kind of stories, what kind of voices
Mhm.
do you want to be around?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then you take that, you say, well, this is what I did for the World Surfing League. This is what I could do for you.
Mhm.
Yada yada, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
cool.
You know, make a whole thing on sneakers. I mean, I don't know. You know, or just well, I mean, here's the deal: is that what you can do is you probably make a lot of money just going to brands and being like, hey, let me make a half-hour thing just for your product
Right.
about people who buy your product, whether it be sneakers or other type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
jeans or whatever. I don't know. You just make up sort of. It could be a narrative. It could be a documentary style. It could be
Mm-hmm.
What are products that help people feel better
Right.
about stuff, their
Yeah,
mental
yeah.
health, like how do people cope with mental health these days. And some people, you first ask that question and then you find the answers that are repetitive. You're like, oh, a lot of people do this.
Right.
Now let me go and make something on that, whether it's yoga or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, or whatever, pickleball or ice cream.
Right.
Like I like eating ice cream when I'm sad. It's like, okay, then
That's
I mean, there's so many different things
Yeah.
you could do, but
That's
being
why.
a filmmaker.
Yeah. That's why I like YouTube. You can make something, just put it out there.
Right.
And then you watch it and you're like,
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're watching like, oh, I could make something better.
Yeah.
And then you go do another thing.
Right.
And you do another thing. Another thing.
Right.
My whole thing is like, how can I transform in like make a movie into like, well, actually make a vlog style into like a cinematographic storytelling, like a day-to-day thing into like a story, like I that kind of intrigues me. It's kind of cool.
Right. The
Yeah.
cinema verite kind of documentaries, or you got to be on location, right?
Right.
You gotta do the video. You can't just you can have this, but you gotta do the 60 minutes walk and talk. You gotta walk and
Mhm.
talk with them. You gotta be on location. You gotta
Yeah.
film stuff. You gotta just the general montage or I don't know.
Right.
There's all sorts of
Yeah.
things.
A movie that inspired me to like do more things like that back in the days was Collateral.
Collateral
Yeah.
with Tom Cruise and
Tom
Jamie
Cruise
Foxx.
and James Fox. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't
Why
that
is
random?
that? Yeah, that's strange.
I love how it was shot, like most of it at night,
Yeah.
and like the shots of it
Yeah.
to me was so inspiring for some reason.
Yeah.
Just the lights reflection on the
Yeah.
dark windows, the shots from inside the cab that you
Yeah.
could see the light from the outside. Obviously, it's all like prop,
And there's a
but-
certain sound design
right.
to that movie.
There's a sound design to that movie that you
Yeah.
feel that brings you in.
Yeah, it does bring you in.
Like the scene that does not leave my mind is when there's I forgot what the name of the song is, But it's towards the end where like all this shit happened and they're in the cab and the song comes on and like a coyote
Oh
just
yeah, yeah,
passes
that's right.
by,
Yeah,
right? And they like both of them just kind of like you could tell what each of them is thinking,
right.
and they just kind of like stop there, watch the coyote. No one, they're not mad at each other anymore.
Right,
Nothing
right.
happens. It's like
Yeah.
time paused, and then the coyote passes in front of the like the headlight,
Yeah, the headlights. Yeah, I remember
you know,
that.
and it's all
I
dark.
think it's right before the climax of the movie.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So, yeah, for some reason that movie,
yeah,
to me, is like,
yeah,
I want to make shit like that.
yeah.
You know, that was the first.
But you can make a
film.
movie like that. You could make a narrative. You can be a filmmaker. You know,
Yeah.
Anybody really could be a filmmaker.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like just you get, but you got to do it.
You
It's
got to
like,
do it and
you
not be
gotta do
afraid
it.
of being
Right. And the fact is, like, you could do it like you're doing it now, just documentary style, but then doing it where it's like, no, now I'm going to do it about a character.
right, right.
And the character might be based on somebody that you interviewed years ago or whatever, but that's how you build your sort of resources, creative resources
Mm-hmm.
for writing. You know, a lot of my characters are maybe not exactly people I've met in my life, but traits.
Right.
Oh yeah, or attitudes or
Mhm.
whatever else. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
just kind of create a character out of nothing. You know, it's like it's got to be built from something I know from my life or I've
Mhm.
experienced, right?
Yeah.
But same thing for you. It's like you could make a movie like that. You know,
Mhm.
it's like, all right, what is it? You might make a movie about a surfer and there's no surfing in it at all.
Right.
It's
right.
just that this guy's a cab driver at night, but he's a surfer by day.
yeah.
He's a vampire.
Yeah. But I honestly,
Yeah, there you
one
go.
of my main goals is to make a surf movie that is not about
Surfing.
surfing.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Well,
it's like obviously show surfing, and it's
right,
like
but it's about a surfer, but mostly about when he's not surfing. What is
exactly.
his
It's
life
like Point Break. It's
like?
like
Point
you
Break,
know,
yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like what's like
Has he put money on the table or food on the table? What's
Mhm.
his job like? Does he like it?
Yeah.
Does he have to do something? Is he a mechanic and works on cars? And
Yeah.
it's a complete opposite of surfing,
Yeah.
being in water. He's
Yeah.
out in the desert.
I'll make one day and ask you to be part of it.
There you go.
Two of you help
I'll
me.
play. I'll be a supporting actor.
Well, you got to do the whole thing because I don't know how to do it.
Okay, there you go. There you go. $1.5 million.
1.5.
Right.
So, what would be your biggest advice for a early filmmaker that is just trying to figure out how to find people to finance their ideas or make their own movies or whatever it is? They kind of just know what they want to do, just don't know how.
I guess for filmmakers,
Mm-hmm.
all right. The biggest advice would be, you don't have to write a script.
Mm.
You don't have to be a writer, meaning, like I said that to one person at one point, they're like, oh my God, you just changed my life. Because like everybody thinks they have to write the script.
Mm.
No. There are people out there that write scripts. Find a great writer, find a great script. The one thing you need to do is be your own producer. That's the biggest advice. If you're an actor trying to get acting gigs, be your own producer. Find a writer, find a director,
Being a producer
filmmaker,
meaning like find the right people around you.
find the right people to make stuff with. If you're a director, find a script that you want, a short film script, or have someone write an idea for you. Be your own producer and just shoot it. Shoot it on iPhone, cut it on iMovie, start there.
Mhm.
And nobody likes to hear that, but just do it. If you've got other resources, then find a DP that's got his own camera, shoot with them, find an editor that's going to do a favor for you. Just be your own producer.
That's cool.
If you're sitting around waiting for other people to help make your dream happen, you're going to be sitting around waiting for a long time. Forever. It may never happen.
Yeah.
And then that's when people get jaded. But jaded about what? Like, it's like, nobody deserves a career in filmmaking.
Right.
You've got to earn it
Yeah.
for yourself. You got to build it.
Yeah.
And being a producer is also being out there and reaching out to people,
Mm-hmm.
talking with people, and being helpful to other people. Not just if it's all about your script and your project, your life will never be as fulfilled as you saying, "Hey, how can I help you?
Right.
Help other people."
Right. Yeah.
If you're a director, produce for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You know what I feel like at least my experience, that a lot of the people that call themselves filmmakers and haven't done enough work, they kind of have this like arrogance
Mm-hmm.
about them, where like I'm super creative and
Well,
only
there's a
do
lot
things.
of narcissism where people are just like, "Yeah, I am this, I am that. Well, I can spin lots of plates. I can
Right.
handle all this." Like, well, we all can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
listen, I could. It's like they're saying stuff that, like, well, we can all do that. Like, but what are you doing?
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't care about what you can do.
Yeah. What
What
do you
are
actually
you
do?
doing?
Yeah.
And if it's like, well, I've got the blah blah blah. Well, yeah, that's what you want to do. What have you done and what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of filmmakers are afraid to keep making short films. It's like, no, make short films.
Right.
I do it. I'm making another one because I'm not going to wait for one of these other features to get going. As I'm plowing through and working with different producers, and sometimes it's like, oh, we're almost there, but then we're not. And it's like, no, I'm going to shoot short films because I'm directing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just being a director. I'm like, no, I'm directing.
Right.
Every short film is going to, even if it's one shot out of it that I think is like, wow, that I nailed that.
Mm-hmm.
It's my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got to fill my life with stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to sit around waiting for other people to tell me what my life is going to be like. I'm designing my own life. I'm making choices, and I'm just going to make a film.
Yeah.
And the arrogance comes from people that are afraid of the doing
Mm-hmm.
because their ego needs to do at a certain level
100%.
or whatever. And it's like, it's all what we call in New York City. They're just a bunch of blowhards.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just, whatever.
Exactly.
I don't like helping those people. I don't like wasting my time with those
Yeah,
people.
because they kind of like set you back.
Yeah.
It
What's
sucks. They set you back. Those people.
Yeah, they
when
say,
try to-
or everybody's a guru. LinkedIn.
right.
Like, I love LinkedIn. But there's so many people that are like,
Yeah.
I'm the guru of screenwriting, guru of this and that. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you're not. It's like,
Yeah, I stopped listening to a
Yeah,
bunch
so
of
it's
these
just
people. I can't.
what I'm
It's just.
but there are lots of people that they love guidance, they love attention,
Mm-hmm.
and they follow some of these people. They're like, oh my God, because there's so many people, they're so enamored in the filmmaking process or want to be writers, successful writers.
Yes.
They want to be successful directors. They want to be the person that showed everyone how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be those people. They want to be, everybody wants some, and everybody wants to, have value and a purpose.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's the biggest thing.
Everybody wants to be validated, and I get it.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks for the people that are like just trying to like get attention, because there are a lot of people who just generally want to help,
Yeah.
and the people that want to get attention and just like put themselves as guru of this, guru of that, ruins for the people that actually help, because
Right.
it's harder to find the
Right.
people that actually want to help,
Yeah.
because you're making more noise.
Right.
You know how to make more noise. You don't know how to do
Right.
the thing.
And that's the thing. Sometimes you spin your wheels working with certain producers that really aren't producing anything.
Right.
And they don't get, I call it producer mud. That you'll be with a project in producer mud with a producer, and I wasted years of my life at times working with somebody who just didn't know what they were doing. And
Right.
it's not that they didn't just know what they were doing. They didn't even put in the effort to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to, producing is solving problems,
Mm. Yeah.
and that all day are problems.
Right.
Finding the money, finding the actors, how to get to the actors,
Mm-hmm.
getting them to do it, getting the buyers, the marketing of it, just solving problems. And then you're shooting, the filming, it's the easy part,
Yeah.
but there's so many people out there making noise that aren't putting in the time to actually do it. And that's where it's hard to differentiate. I tell people when they reach out to me with like, through LinkedIn or whatever, I've got this project and script. I'm like, did you even look at like my IMDb? Like, do I produce TV shows? No,
Right.
I don't. Why you could just because it says Universal doesn't mean that
Yeah.
I can make it. Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, just tell people, like, listen, here's my best advice. Go do your research, figure out who produces what and who has done it many times. Go after those people because they're the people that have already been doing it.
Yes.
And now you're already halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want a certain actor, go to the producers who worked with that actor.
Yeah.
Find those people. Go mine that actor's like filmography. Find a film and look at all the different people produced and whatever, and connect the dots. Just go on IMDb Pro, figure out how to get in touch with them, or go on LinkedIn. Maybe they are on LinkedIn, maybe they're not. Go to those people and say, hey, I know you worked with so and so. You know, I've got this script and it's kind of like not like that movie, but it's a great role for this part. What do you think? And you've worked with them, and is this the right way? I just need some advice.
Yeah.
They're more willing to be like, hey.
99% of people are going to just be excited to help you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just connected with somebody on LinkedIn that, dude, he's like a major horror movie producer. And he's just like, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And he's reading my latest script. He's like, it's not horror, but it's got, you know, it's edgy enough. It's a desert survival film. It's like, it's basically a horror movie because surviving in the desert sucks. And
Yeah, that itself.
you die. Yeah. So it's one of those. But he's like, I want to read it. But he gave me the time and we talked.
That goes a long way.
And whatever else. And just, yeah. So it's just like, you never know. You just got to do your homework also to, when you approach them, you tell them why you're reaching out to them. And whatever else.
That's a phenomenal advice too. Like, go look who they worked with.
Right.
Maybe those people who worked with.
Right.
And just go down the line.
Down
and
the
start
line. Right.
contact those people.
Right.
Up to then you're gonna create credibility for yourself. You're gonna learn more about it. All of a sudden you're known by those guys, and it's like, hey, we're grabbing happy hour at this spot. Like go say hi. You know.
Right. This is why he responded, because he worked with a producer on another project like 20 years ago.
Wow.
That I'm working with another producer. I said, hey, small world, not small world. You know, I'm working with so and so. You work with them 20 years ago on this. You know, whatever. I just say that's my closest, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon I could come up with for us. Like, it's just being a human being. Not,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be insulting or sloppy, but I'm just going to, also not going to walk on eggshells,
Mm-hmm. That's the best way.
Yeah.
Just be human.
Just be
because
human.
everybody just kind of accepts that.
Yeah.
It's like, don't try to become hot.
Right.
Trying to sell the biggest idea.
Yeah. Here's my script. This is what it's about. Can you make it?
Yeah. It's only $1 million, and then we could do this, and it's going to be the
You're going to
biggest.
make a lot of money. It's going to be a big hit. No, it's not.
Yeah. Everybody says that.
Yeah.
Do you prefer being a writer or a director?
Oh God. I still don't have an answer for that. I love directing. I write to direct. I direct to edit. Wow. So really, I'm an editor. Although I'm not sitting there at the computer. I like being in the editing room.
Yeah.
Editing,
how important. Oh my God, I was watching.
You've got it. I edit the film as I direct it.
All in your head, kind of.
I kind of also edit the film a little bit as I write it. You've got to have a plan.
Do you write it thinking like, and it cuts here right away?
When I write into the script, I don't write cut to, it's really more pacing.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're directing, you got to know how your shots are going to line up. And the
so you describe exact the shot and then
transitions. And not just a transition visually, but in the script emotionally. How does the story transition to the next sequence?
I see.
And why does it transition?
I see.
Now that doesn't answer your question. Do I like being a writer or director? I think I enjoy. I love writing, the dreaming, the noting, creating stories. I do love the writing and coming up with the ideas and all that. I think the directing is more challenging but it's also it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fulfilling than writing.
Because you see it coming to life right away.
And I think if it was like you can only do one, writing or directing, and you're going to get paid, and you're going to have a nice career getting paid for just doing one of them. Well, that's a hard one because lifestyle-wise, writing's better, right? Because I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love working with people on set.
Yeah.
I love the energy and all that. So I think directing.
Right.
And
Yeah, you seem more of a. Yeah, it's kind of hard because you love people.
yeah,
I think you would miss greatly being in the doing
I
with
would
other
miss
people.
greatly. Yeah. And I would just, and I think it would bother me if watching other people direct my films and me not directing, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I only write because people aren't writing stuff like I like to see it written, or the styles, you know, the emotional styles, the emotional sort of
Hmm.
levels of within a script.
Yeah.
Right? Story wise is story, but it
Right.
depends on how you're executing it.
What's a
You know,
good transition of emotion in the movie that that you like happening? Like from here on now, you know, they became friends or whatever it was, or because of this death, now the movie takes a turn.
I like when the emotions are that they. I like it when the emotion is that they really have no fucking clue on what to do. That character's so lost and so at wit's end. That's where it's like, it's the darkest moment of the night or whatever, like the
Right.
beat sheet is, or just just when they just are at wit's end, and you've had this movie and you're like, they don't know what to do,
Yeah.
you know. But what they do is they just they follow their heart, they follow their instincts,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what really comes down. It's not about intellect, it's about feeling, and then
Yeah.
they work on their instincts and their intuition. I think instincts is a physical thing. I think an instinct
Mm-hmm.
is a physical vibe. Intuition is your spiritual
Mm.
sort of outlook or feeling that drives you and guides you.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
say physical for intuition
like
because you gotta be in that
there's
moment.
instinct and physical. Intuition is not physical. Intuition, I think, is more of a spiritual
Or
thing.
instinct. Yeah.
Instinct is a physical
Because you gotta be
vibe.
in that moment
You got to
there.
be in the moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to feel it. The instinct. There's like something about the body.
That
It
kind of
doesn't. It
knows how to
connects with your
react.
mind,
Yeah.
but there's a body feeling
That's right.
to it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. That's cool. I like
Yeah.
that. It took me a second. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
kinda,
No. Yeah. It's trippy, but it's
yeah. But it makes sense because
yeah.
you gotta be at the moment to
Yeah.
feel the instinct.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And I always
Intuition is definitely like
yeah.
a storage thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And that's how and that's what if you just keep doing through life, you're going to have great intuition and great instincts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
why, like, when I was younger, that's why I traveled as much as I did, because I'm like, well, I want to just learn about just people and everything, and I just want to be out there,
Yes.
and just the doing of whatever.
It's so important to
Yeah.
get to know more people.
Yeah.
See how people think, how people
Expose
act.
yourself to just about everything.
Yeah.
All kinds of people, whatever else, and that's gonna help you, and it's gonna make life more fun.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thanks so much, man.
Is that it?
I think so. I
Are
think
we
we've
done?
gone for like almost 2 hours. So
Man, we've been talking for a while.
yeah,
What time is it?
I don't even know.
5:04.
5:04.
5:05.
2 hours.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, this has been fantastic.
Man, I
Just to
appreciate you
hang
coming.
out,
And I'm glad to see you again.
Thank you.
You're a friend of mine that, like you
glad
said,
to see you.
doesn't
after
matter
years.
if we don't see each
Now
other
we're
in
two
person.
fathers, right?
Yeah.
And whatever else, but we will see each other again sooner than we think to make a surf movie.
We need to make a movie.
We need to
I don't
make a
care what
movie.
it is.
We're gonna make a movie.
We
together.
need to make
Yeah.
a surfing movie,
Yeah.
but if we don't, then we need to make something.
We need to make something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I love this. I love just hanging out, talking, and it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, me too.
We'll
We'll have to do it again.
That's cool. We need an ocean view next time.
Yes. Maybe we do like at the beach. You just bring
We could do-
mics.
Yeah. Shark.
What do you say?
Shark.
Shark.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peace. Hopefully you got something out of this.